Hey everybody, welcome back to Life Under Deborah's Palm, the Dementia Road version, where today I thought we'd talk about dementia and the holidays because I'm shooting this 2 days before Thanksgiving here in the United States, and as you can see, we had snow last night. And we're about to kick off the holiday season. First things first, you know what I'm going to say. Wrote a book, La Belle Communauté, available on Amazon. I'll link it below. Good book. Should check it out. Of course, I'm biased, but it's a good book. Another thing is I have a second channel, Life Under Deborah's Palm, the God Stuff. You can get to that from my YouTube homepage and click over if you are interested. There are 3 videos up. You can also check out my website, lifeunderdeborahspalm.com. And that's it for the announcements. The first thing I'm going to say about dementia in the holidays, caregivers and caregiver families, you need to live in reality. The person with dementia is not what they were last year or the year before. They're just not that person anymore. And every year it gets worse, and next year it'll be worse than this year. That's reality. So thinking that they can do everything that they normally do on the holidays, each year it's going to drop a little, and you're going to have to determine where the drop comes in. I would just make notes, truthfully, when we would deal with a holiday and I go, next year we're not doing that. It doesn't work anymore. She can't do it anymore. That is reality. Let me address the family of the caretakers first. That means those of you who are not the primary caregiver, maybe you're a sibling or something. The primary caregiver knows best usually, unless they're just being really obnoxious. But honestly, you who are not the primary caregiver, maybe you call and speak with the person or you visit. It's different when you do it 24/7. You know exactly how they act and react to situations. So if the primary caregiver is telling you that really isn't a great idea, it's probably not a really great idea. Back years ago when my mother-in-law was earlier in the disease, but she was in assisted living, we had a family member who wanted to take her out to a restaurant for Thanksgiving. They had gone to this really nice restaurant for years. And that was fine. We didn't care. My husband said, yeah, sure. And then the place is actually kind of an inn, and it has suites and stuff you can stay overnight. And the sibling said, oh, well, we're going to keep mom overnight. And my husband said, I'm not sure that's a really good idea. No, she'll be fine. I'm not sure that's a really good idea. You don't understand. She gets scared now in the evenings. No, she'll be fine. 9 o'clock, our phone rang with the sibling saying, can you talk to mom? She wants to talk to you. So my husband chatted with her, said, what's the matter, mom? And she just said, I want to go home. Well, they do that. Home becomes their memory care facility. Her apartment was home. And his sibling got very upset, ended up having to bring her home, which it wasn't a really long ride. But she was very upset and then wanted to turn the tables and say that my husband that mom was fine until my husband called her. He never called her. It was the other way around because she got scared. If you listen in the first place, we're probably really not lying. We're probably trying to make life easier on everybody. And most often, we're really looking to make things easier for the person with dementia. They get into a routine. That's how it goes. So when we're saying something, pay attention. It'll make your life easier. So how do you handle the holidays? I'll be honest with you, the holidays are as much about the caregiver as they are with the person with dementia. So if you are caregiving and maybe you've been the one that did the holidays, or you can't do everything anymore. You just can't. You will make yourself crazy, burned out, angry, aggravated, and everything else. So stop. Learn the word no. Very powerful word. No. and make sure you have some boundaries set up. You might not be able to do everything you did before. It is the way it is with this disease. It's going to change the person's who has it, it's going to change their lives, and it's going to change yours as well. If you had 20 people to your house, it may not be easy for the person with dementia to handle 20 people anymore. My mom, she gets overwhelmed, totally zones out, can't follow conversations, so she just sits and, kind of eats her food. And I try to make sure that either myself or someone else is engaged with her and chatting, and that works okay, but it's like there's this noise of everybody at the table. And don't forget, dementia can affect their ears, so it gets a little like, it's just too much. It's like too much, almost overstimulation. And in my mom's case, she kind of shuts down. You might not be able to, maybe you can do it, maybe you can't do it, but start thinking that way. I would do things like, I would do something for a holiday in one year, and then the next year go, we're not doing that next year. It's just, it doesn't work anymore. Another thing you may find out if you are dealing with somebody who is sundowning. Nights get really difficult. Well, that's going to create a problem with Christmas Eve, or if you are a Jewish person and you're doing Hanukkah and you light the candles at night. And if you light the candles at night, be very careful with the dementia person as you let those things burn down. Just make sure you're keeping an eye on everybody. But nighttime celebrations may be very difficult for them and for you if they are in that sundowning phase. Ask for help. If you do want to host the holidays because it's easier to have people over, if you need to limit the people, you need to limit the people. Let other people bring dishes, side dishes, whatever. Just let people help you. It'll save your sanity. Something else that may be really helpful is if you have a bunch of people coming that don't always see the person with dementia and are not used to dealing with dementia, a text or an email explaining, hey, mom or grandma or whoever may not recognize you anymore. She also may behave like this. She may behave like that. Don't get stressed out. She might talk stupid about certain topics. You just need to go with it and kind of give them sort of a heads up. They don't deal with it all the time. You might want to tell them, just don't correct them, don't bother, just let them go. That would be helpful. Then that could be more helpful in the long run. So at least they know what to expect. So what do you do on the holidays with somebody, you're living with somebody with dementia? Well, you do as much as you can do. Maybe they always like to bake. My mom always liked to bake, and you are able to still make favorite recipes with them. Don't be leaving on ovens and stoves and stuff running. Maybe they love to make sugar cookies and put the icing on them. They may not be able to measure out the ingredients, but they can certainly help you and mix, and maybe they could roll out the dough and cut with the cookie cutters and slop on some icing, whatever. If that works, let them do it. If they can still help you, it makes them feel like they're part of things. Read them the Christmas cards, show them this stuff. Be careful with things like the decorations. So if you're going to decorate, it's almost like having a little kid. You really need to consider what they could and couldn't get into. And also be warned, so with some people with dementia, things like the blinking lights, if you like to put your Christmas trees on blinky things, that may freak them out. Don't forget, eyes and ears get affected in it. And if you're dealing with sundowning and shadowing, that really could become an issue. Consider that. They may still be able to help you wrap presents or kind of help you make them feel like they're helping you, stick bows on, put tape on. It really depends where they are in the disease. Gift giving. Make sure that you have a discussion with people who normally would give the dementia person a gift to make sure they give them something that's appropriate. So let's just say, for example, mom was a quilter or a knitter or a crocheter, and the people wanted to buy them something related to that. It might not be a good idea anymore. They can't do it, and it may really be, depending on the stage, a trigger and a reminder of what they can no longer do. If dad or grandpa was an incredible craftsman, made cabinets for a living, don't be bringing them new tools. Okay, bad idea. Good ideas, if they're still able to go out and have a favorite cafe or restaurant, diner, whatever, give them gift cards, or better yet, you come and take them out and give the caretaker a break, but also get the person with dementia out into the world, weather permitting. That's always a good idea. Pajamas, of course. Clothes that are easy to get on and off and comfortable. Maybe it's sweatpants. Maybe for women it's like a knit pant that is elastic. Things that don't have a lot of buttons. Don't forget, even older people, their fingers, arthritis, those things can be difficult. I went up to see my mom and she had this button-down shirt on, and apparently she didn't know how to get the button apart, so she took a pair of scissors and actually cut her shirt. I don't know where she got the scissors from, but that tells me small buttons at least are kind of hard for her, so I get her sweaters that have the bigger buttons on it. Warm socks. Make sure things aren't trip hazards, that they're wearing like flip-floppy type slippers. You might want to give them a favorite cookie or snack in a tin, nice tin. Do they like coffee or tea, different flavors? You could put that in a tin. Just some ideas for you, and ideas to give the caregiver. Time. Caregivers are always looking for time. If you have the ability to either come over to the house once a week, every other week, once a month, and either deal with the person that has dementia, whether you take them out somewhere, weather permitting, you take them out somewhere, or maybe you come over and stay with them and do a little light housework while the people that are caregiving have, they can take the time to go out. That's great. Doesn't cost you anything but time, and sometimes that's a little difficult, but don't forget the caregiver never gets a break if you don't show up. Another idea is gift cards for restaurants. Although the caregiver maybe can't go out to the restaurant, they can order and pick it up. Gas cards, if they are running the person with dementia around a lot, especially if they have a lot of doctor appointments. I went through that with my mom. Gas cards would be appreciated. Maybe you can get a gift card to have the house cleaned. You don't have to do that weekly. A lot of places will give you a gift certificate for like a one-time clean. That's a good idea. Come over and do some stuff. Do some laundry. Do some housekeeping. It's really very much appreciated. What about family that's in a memory care facility? How do you handle the holidays with them? Well, it makes your holidays at home much easier, but you're going to have to make the decision as to where they're at and whether or not you want to bring them out. Last year, my mother could not come out for Thanksgiving or Christmas due to COVID. Technically, we were all sent a letter that said that we could take them out, but they would appreciate it if we didn't take them out. And surprisingly, nobody took anyone out, which was actually really nice considering what was going on. But this year I can take my mother out, and I have decided not to. And that's a really hard decision. And the caregivers always have guilt because you're like, it's Thanksgiving, how can I not take my mom? Or it's Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating, and how do you not take them? Reality. What did I say at the beginning? Live in reality. My mother doesn't know it's Thanksgiving. You can say, hey mom, it's Thanksgiving today. And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. And in like 30 seconds, she has no idea that it's Thanksgiving. She has a difficult time now maneuvering and dealing with crowds of people. Even though it is her family, it's just gotten difficult enough that it's too stressful for her. And I've noticed the last few times I've had her out places, like we go get ice cream and stuff, 30 minutes to an hour, and she wants to go back to her apartment. And nobody deals with Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, probably. I don't know a lot about the celebration, but I'm gonna guess everything's more than 30 minutes to an hour. Let the guilt go. Just let it go. There's nothing you can do about it. If people are insistent that they need to be taken out and you're being a terrible caregiver, well, you know what? Let them come take them out. Let them come take them out. You take them out, you deal with it, you deal with whatever issues, especially if they're incontinent. You definitely let someone take them out. Have a lot of fun there. But it is reality. That's the way the disease is in that days. If it is not here and they live long enough through it, you'll have to make that decision. Is it better off for them to come or not to come? What we have done in the past with my in-laws, we would take sometimes a little bit of food up. Like, they had a place where we could sit, so we would bring up like some pizza or lasagna or something and celebrate it there. I will be visiting my mom this year, but I will not be taking her out. It's crappy, but that's how it goes. That's the point where we're at. And that's about the end of this video. I hope this helps, and thank you all for watching and subscribing and sharing this channel. And as always, have a great day.